Joe Long. Discuss a few topics. We're going to see how this goes. You know, this one's a bit on the fly interview. First off, how are you, Joe?
Not bad, Rob. A little bit worse for wear today. Had a late night last night, so feeling a bit rough, to be honest. But everything's good. Everything's good.
Well, let's kick off. You know, first off, congratulations. You made a recent announcement. Return of your expedition. Kind of give us some insight into the work that's gone behind putting this event together, and tell us when it's going down.
Sure, we're on the 16th and 17th of July next year, 2016, at the O2 Arena. So we are moving from last year. If you come to the show, we was at the David Beckham Academy, which was a great show. But we're actually bringing the whole event over to the O2 itself and taking out various parts of the O2 as a venue for the show.
Brilliant. You made the move from the David Beckham Centre into the O2. Mm-hmm. What benefits do you think that will give you moving from just beside the O2 to into the O2 itself?
A lot. I mean, what probably people don't realise, we was actually due to be in the O2 itself for the last show. And we had a big arena show planned. It didn't happen. It wasn't public. It never went out into the public domain as such. And we was going to have the whole show in the O2 Arena last time round. It didn't. As I say, it didn't happen. So we decided to move the show into the David Beckham Academy, the London Soccer Dome, which was also owned by AEG, the people who own the O2, and have it there. And it worked really well there. There was a lot of planning what went into that show before we went public, and probably about 6 months of planning. And then we had to make a decision whether we was running it without the arena show or not. So we was kind of left short on promotion for that show, if I'm perfectly honest. And then we moved it over there. And then, that was a very good show, but we had quite a short period of lead-in time for that event because we left it so late waiting on the arena show for here. But this time around, we've made a commitment. The London Soccer Dome no longer exists. It's been pulled down. If you didn't know, it's all becoming apartments along that whole stretch of road. So unfortunately, the Soccer Dome doesn't exist anymore. Which I suppose is good in a way because it sort of forced us back over here.
Brilliant. You mentioned a planned event there, show that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I believe at the time we discussed previously, it was rumoured to be the Glory show.
Yeah.
How much of a disappointment was it that didn't quite come up?
Yeah, it was disappointing. It was disappointing. I mean, obviously we promoted the Gloria XL, and we managed and worked as a promoter on behalf of Glory, and that was a great show. Great card, great knockouts, great atmosphere, great production, and we was hoping that we could replicate that last year, but it didn't happen. Through various reasons, it didn't. We couldn't get it across the line, mainly due to TV dates. Clashed with another promotion, and also I think there's some problems with Spike at the time with Glory, so it didn't happen. So hey ho, the event out, the Seni show went on itself, the Combat and Strength show went on itself, and as I say, we moved over there. But yeah, it was a bit gutted because we probably worked about 6 months on trying to get the ball over the line, and when you do that much work and you can see the potential of something, it's a bit of a letdown when it doesn't happen. But that's the promotional game, and that's the fight game. So whether you're an athlete and you're training for a fight and you lose, or you're a promoter and you're putting all your effort and your passion into something and it doesn't happen. It happens.
Because that's something that you've said to me personally before, that you'd be interested in doing big event shows, shows whether it be kickboxing or different combat sports in conjunction with with the Combat and Strength show.
Yeah.
Has that put you off doing something like that in the future?
No, not at all. I mean, we've done it. We've done our own independent shows. You know, when we was at the NEC and we done Pain and Glory. We also done Pain and Glory at XL. You know, and I think one of our biggest Pain and Glory crowds was at XL when we done the K1 Network show. I think that was back in 2008. You know, was our last Pain and Glory show. We've done a live boxing show with Sky Sports back then, Friday Night Fight Night with Mick Hennessy, that went live at the show. So it's not that we haven't got a heritage in doing so. It's just the timing has to be right. And unfortunately, last year, we couldn't, as I say, couldn't make it happen. Mainly, through TV reasons.
So is there a chance that we could possibly see something of that kind in the near future?
For next year's show, we're fairly positive that we'll get something off. What yet, we don't know. We will definitely have a lot of content in the arena itself, in the whole venue. So we'll be, as well as the live space here, because there's lots of live spaces in the O2 tent. If you like. So we'll be utilising the live expo area. We'll also be utilising some of the other venues within here. So we're hoping to put on a couple of shows, fitness events in the Indigo, as well as the live space. Also the Brooklyn Bowl we're looking to utilise as well. And possibly Building 6, which is the other end of the arena also. So there's with the layout of the venue, you're going to get a band and you're going to be able to go into different areas. So it's going to be, rather than it all be in one space, you're going to be able to travel to different areas of the show. And I mean, if you've been here, if you've been to the O2, you can spend a day here without anything on here. There's plenty of places to eat and drink, cinema, so on and so forth. We're also doing a film festival in the cinema. So, there's lots of areas what you're going to be able to go, jump in and out of, as well as, all the restaurants and bars and different places which are along the main stretch.
Well, despite the minor setback of not being able to put on, well, what turned out to be a Glory event here at the O2, you did have quite a lot of interest in other events. You had the first A1 Amateur World Championships.
We had
and a few other events. Kind of take us through some of the stuff you had last time.
Last time round, we had lots of stuff. We had the first amateur K1 World event, which I think we had 3 or 4 rings. Yeah, 4 rings running all weekend with a lot of international competitors. We had a great amateur boxing show, great lineup. A lot of people said it was the amateur show of last year nationwide. That was run in association with Body Shots Gym down in Crayford. They've done a great job, them guys, Mark Rowe and Lee Wilkins. We also had Team Chew, had a amateur Thai event during the daytime. What else? We had the Bruce Lee Museum, where we had a lot of content, from Bruce Lee's past, book signings, speeches, unseen footage, films and whatnot. With the guys which deal with the Bruce Lee Foundation over here, Steve Kerridge. That went really well. And fitness side of stuff was really busy at the last show. I mean, our big thing on that was we broke the world record for the world's biggest boxing training session. So that went in Guinness Book of Records. And we're looking to emulate that again for the next show. So we're hoping to break that record again. I think it ended up 527 people was in that boxing session. And that was a great, that was a great spectacle. And we had a few complaints about the noise because there's like a big PA system and whatnot. And but hopefully we'll do that. We'll be doing that again as well.
Yeah, because the thing about your events is they're very inclusive. They're not just the type of exhibitions where you just walk around and you see stuff. You can actually, they're quite interactive, and you actually get to take part in things like seminars and so forth. If you could have a dream seminar or a dream event that you would like personally, is there anything in particular you would have?
Seminar-wise, I'd like to get some of the old boxing names over here. You know, like maybe a Hagler or a Hearns, something like of that ilk. You know, we will work on something like that for next year for sure. You know, boxing-wise, you know, our seminar program last year was very strong. You know, especially for people in stand-up, like you know, we had Peter Ertz, Ernesto Hoost, then MMA-wise, who did we have? We had Alexander Gustafsson, Michael Bisping, Brad Pickett. Yeah, I mean, it was a strong seminar lineup last year. Again, some of our old favourites will hopefully be back. We recently done a seminar tour with Ernesto Hoost, and I know Ernesto wants to come back and be at the show again next year. You know, he's always a crowd favourite, you know, and a legend within stand-up. But I'd like to see a couple of the old boxers, you know, some of the big names, you know, as I say, like the Hearns or the Haglers at the show, doing maybe not teaching, but more sort of interactive and Q&As and getting to talk to the fans and that sort of stuff. I think that's very, very important.
Brilliant. So kind of moving on to as promoters, as exhibitors, you know, there's been a few other, I don't know if we can call them competitors, but a few other similar events popping up that have kind of come and gone. Mm-hmm. Kind of take us through some of the pitfalls, or maybe what it takes to kind of survive in quite a competitive market.
I think for us, yeah, we've been doing it a long while, as you kindly reminded me earlier. Yeah, we've been doing it a long while, but I think it's about, the main thing is about being true to yourself. You know, there's no point in saying we're going to do something and we're the biggest and we're the best, and you haven't actually achieved anything yet. You know, and that seems to happen a lot, not just within expos, but within the fight industry. Full stop. You know, there's a lot of promoters out there. What you know, some of the flyers or posters or posts on social media I read, and it's like, you know, we're the biggest and the best show, or we're this and they're that, and they haven't even had a show. So how can you be the biggest and the best and you haven't even, you know, showed your worth as such, you know? You know, the same applies to fighters, you know? There's a lot of guys that talk a great game, but until the cage door closes, or till, you know, they get on the mat, or till they get in the ring, it's a different story. And I think it's about being true to yourself, and it's not easy. Everyone thinks it's easy, you know.
Because it's strange. I wouldn't call fighters in style of promotion in your face, no. Or, you know, not in your face. Maybe you're not as boasty as some other promoters, but you still manage to continue the success you've had since the show's conception. Yeah. I feel like you let your shows and what you promote do the talking, as opposed to, like you just said, yeah, we're the biggest and the best. Yeah, I think people just assume you are the best because of...
We are. we, you know, not saying that in a flash way, we are, you know, and you're right, the proof is in the pudding. And if anyone wants to say they're this or that, or they can do it better, then go and do it better. And then if you do it better, we'll come back and we'll blow you out the water. That's our mentality, you know. So if someone does come along and do it better, we'd actually be pleased. I'd be buzzed. I'd be getting up earlier in the morning, you know. But it hasn't happened, you know. The few shows what sort of popped up and they was going to do this and that and they didn't. You know, we're still here. You know, our first event was in 1997. You know, and we've just continued. It's a little bit annoying because when you look back to 2008, we would have loved to have gone in 2009, but the economic side of things, not for us as a company, but for everybody in the industry, took a big downturn. You know, took a real big downturn, and I think it was important for us to take a step back, because had we have gone in, and this is about being sort of true to yourself, had we have gone in 2009, we probably wouldn't have wouldn't have had a show, or it would have got cancelled, or we would have lost a heap of money.
Because again, no, I can't remember what year it was. Quite a few years ago now, there was a big show. They were a competitor. They were doing this. They were bringing everyone, every conceivable mixed martial arts you can think of over.
Yeah,
you know, there was a few detractors were saying this doesn't sound right. This doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
And you seem to be the organisation that, if they pulled it off, may have been affected the most, but they would have been your main competition, or you
100%. Yeah.
Competition.
Yeah.
You kept a really dignified silence. You just carried on doing what you was doing, and you didn't get involved in all the, we don't think this is going to work, or this show's going to be great, or etc. etc.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. You know,
No, it didn't materialise. Yeah.
It didn't materialise. I think it crashed and burnt like a week out.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it was a strange one. But again, your experience, you know, behind the scenes, you know, you may have confided in one or two people, and you said behind the scenes, the maths didn't add up.
Yes.
Is that through experience where you just knew from the outset that you tried to see how this was going to work?
We never thought, to be honest, Paul, my business partner, and I, we never thought that show would, you know, make it across the line. You know, as you know, I spoke about ourselves earlier. Being honest, you know, we didn't get across the line with trying to do the Glory show at the O2 last year. We haven't really spoke about that publicly. You know, we would have loved to have it there, but we didn't get it across the line.
So, kind of finally, tell us, you know, or fans of your exhibition, what they can expect from this year's, or what you can reveal. What can we expect?
No, I think you just expect that the same, you know, Seni show and Combat and Strength show in a different environment. It's going to have a different feel to it here, isn't it? You know, it's not all in one big room, or two big rooms, or three big rooms. It's, you know, I think it's going to be probably more of a festival atmosphere here. I think, you know, because you've got so much going on throughout the arena, so you're going to be able to pop in and out. But I would say it's going to have a different atmosphere. I mean, we're way out at the moment, you know, we're way out. So for us to be saying this one's going to come, that one's going to come, I think you're going to have, you know, fans won't be disappointed with talent. I don't think fans will be disappointed with content. You know, there's plenty of sub-promoters who we're talking to and with at the moment, like from a UK point of view, you know, for smaller shows to be within the Seni show. You know, we're talking to various promoters. You know, we're talking to Kieran Kedal. We're speaking to Jeremy Bailey with Ronin. We've had that discussion with him. Team Chu, again, you know, amateur boxing guys are definitely doing a show within the show. So there's lots of people we're talking to. Fight Club, again, to break the world record. So there's plenty of content which is going to be coming here. But I believe, you know, we're way off. But I believe the atmosphere is going to be different in the actual O2 arena than it is in an exhibition centre, or, you know, the Soccer Dome. You know, the Excel's a great venue, absolutely great venue, but it's a completely different feel to here. I mean, the O2 is won worldwide awards for, you know, an entertainment venue. You know, it is the #1 entertainment venue on the planet. So, you know, we're quite privileged that we can bring the whole show here and sort of chop it up and put it in different areas, you know, under this tent, you know, and we're quite excited about that.